Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from the UK, and I'm here with the project I made for the Inspiring blog hop that I was on yesterday, and the theme this month was the new in colours. So I've made 4 cards and I'm going to make the 5th one with you, and I'm giving you a little bit of sneak peek of a new set that's coming in the new autumn winter mini. So I've made a Misty Moonlight Christmas card, I've made a Bumblebee one, I've made a Just Jade one, and I've made a Cinnamon Cider. So I'm going to make with you the Magenta Madness. Okay, and I'm using this Poinsettia petal set, which comes with a matching die set. I have cut these out in traditional sort of red and greens, but I wanted to have an alternative sort of a Christmas with it. The stamps are, the real stamps are quite a bit bigger than the picture on the box. They're showed at 65% on the box, so it's a big set, and that flower just is wow. And you could quite easily have not put Merry Christmas on this. It could quite easily have had a different sentiment on it. And I've used 4 different embossing folders. So this is the Cinnamon Cider one, and I've used that old paper embossing folder on it. And I don't know if you can see the little bits. I've used Winker Stella on it to give it a little bit of glitzy there. And then the Just Jade one, I used the new Tasteful Textures, I want to say that it's called. So I think that's a really nice look. And then I used the Ornate Floral one. I'm not sure that that's what it's called, but it's in the Ornate Suite, Ornate Garden Suite. And I thought that went really quite nice with this one. I did make a little bit of an error. So this one's for my Australian friends. Yeah, so I'm going to have to cut that off and remount it. But, you know, no great drama. It's only card. I can change it. So, yeah, and then for this one, what I did is the die set comes with some veined dies, so you can put some detail in your holly leaves and your poinsettias. And so I embossed this background just using those dies. Quite liked it, bit of a faff. That's why I decided, oh, I'm going to do them all with different ones to see what the effect is. Okay, and oh, I didn't get the embossing. I'm going to use, I think, this floral one again with the Misty Moonlight. Not the Misty Moonlight, that's Misty Moonlight. The Magenta Madness. So let's get started. Oh, and I have used this rectangle from the Ornate layers as well to cut the sentiment out. So we have got, for this card, I have a thick Whisper White card base, so that's standard sheet cut in half, scored in half. I have my usual layer that I do where I cut it 1/4 of an inch shorter and thinner, and so we get an 1/8 of an inch sort of background. And I've got some scraps for doing the sentiment and the poinsettia. Okay, and then we're going to die cut as well some of these sort of decorative elements as well in the centre of the flower. So let's get our stamping done. So I've got my 3 bits, my 3 poinsettia layers stamped up, mounted up, and I'm going to use some memento for it. I believe that piece is big. Yeah, it is. These were scraps that I had left over from another project, and I thought, oh, I think I can put all my poinsettias on there. So we shall see. So I'm using memento. Could use stays on. Could use a different colour. Could do it actually in the colour you're putting on the middle, but I quite liked it to have the colourful outline. So just stamp that down on there. They should have a stamp mat with these, but I'm hoping that this is thick enough. Yay! That's fine. That's big enough for that one, isn't it? Oh, oh, yeah. Yes, it is. I might move it a little bit there. I put it on with haste, so I need to move it over a little tad. So I love poinsettias at Christmas. I just think they're gorgeous. Lovely, lovely red colour, and so we always have one at Christmas. Don't think that's inked very well there. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, and it usually lasts way after Christmas as well, so I enjoy looking at it for quite a lot of the season and beyond. There we go, and then we just do the little one. And then these do layer up so lovely together. And I'm not convinced I've got enough room for the sentiment on there. Let me check this die. Will it cut out? No. So we'll get another piece for that. That will work. Yeah, that'll work. Right, so let's move those out of the way. Move them actually way out of the way to clean off. And so now we need our Magenta Madness, and this is where my beautiful stamps are now going to get stained, but I'm not bothered because I will no doubt be stamping in red over the season. So I'm gonna do the Merry Christmas on here. Love this Merry Christmas. Really nice sized Christmas greeting. I'm going to use it a lot. Love it. Love the size. Love the font. I think it's wonderful. And you can of course put the Merry on top of the Christmas as well if you wanted to. Give that a clean. But as you can see, it's now pink. And that's just the way it is, and the others are going to be pink now as well. So now I'm going to fill in these colours. So in the set you get these stamps that sort of fill in the flowers. You've got these that fill in the holly, but I'm going to use those to fill in these bigger flowers, and you've got that whole one together that fills in the little one. And that's what I'm going to use. That's going to cut that out. Beautifully fits. It was like it was made. It's like Stampin' Up! Sort of thought about it, innit? And I'm sure they did. So that's going to go. It's kind of got a right way of going. Yeah, I think that's the right way. So I kind of like this as a sort of a watercolour look, so it's not quite filled in, and I liked the white space. I thought that worked really well. And then we're going to go with this single smaller leaf, and that's what's going to just get stamped around each of these. And it's not a fit, it goes out the lines, but I like that. As I say, nice sort of watery colour look to it. I'm sort of cleaning these off as swift as possible to sort of reduce the matte staining, but it is just going to happen. And then put these on them. I say some of the stuff that goes out the edges will actually be cut off. And you're going over the centerpiece on these, but this is the one that's going to be on top, although I am putting a die cut over it, so it doesn't actually matter. But I think when I first made the first one, I didn't put the center on, and then when I was making the others, I thought, oh, we could use that center. That one's pinker than the others, I think. Actually, it just looks pinker from behind. Right, so they now need die cutting. So we've got the dies here, and they fit one, so it's a matter of turning it around until you get the fit. So that's the fit, and then I embossed it, and you can't actually see the embossing that well, but it's there. You can see it really well when you emboss the plain cardstock, and I have put a little mark on the back of my dies to make it easier to match them up. I've got a magnetic thingy, so I know that that's the way to go, and it just makes it easier for matching it up. And I do no, that's not it. I did die cut and emboss all at the same time, which is why I made that mark, because it makes it easier to find, and it's very faint on that one. Need to go back over it. But that's my little tip for using this set. There, that's it. And then, oh, can't see where I've put the dot. I do need to put the dot on again. There it goes there. So matter of fact, now I've got black Sharpie, well, red Sharpie even. So all I did was put a line across like that, so that I could definitely see that one's come off a bit. So you know how to line them up. Okay, and the other thing that we're cutting out is this one. I cut that out 3 times, and the middle, and there's 2 bits to the middle, and so I cut them out as well. I'll probably cut them out, those little bits around there. Okay, so I'm going to get those cut out, and then we'll get on with it. So there we are, everything's cut out and embossed. So I went with this ornate floral one again, because I thought that would look lovely in that colour. And when I cut the Merry Christmas out, I sort of do it so that there's space on this side, because it gets covered up a little bit with the poinsettia. So that's what I do there. So these are all cut out. This one just needs those middle bits poking out. There we go. And what I did was I took some wing Castella to give it a little bit of bling on the leaves. So I just brushed it over a little bit. Because we want a bit of bling at Christmas. So I just thought, and I've just got a new wing Castella, so I'm like putting it on everything. And it does, the ink runs a little bit, which I think is quite a nice effect. And I did go a little bit over these flowers as well to add a little bit of bling to the background, just subtle with the others. So like this one, I just went in the creases so that there was just sort of bling in there, but and the same with the one where I just used the vein embossing, but with these I kind of went all over just to give a little subtle bit of that. And then I also went over the sentiment, so that there was a little subtle bit on that as well. And I don't know if that's coming up on camera, but there is a little bit of sheeny shiny on that. And then I did go over these bits as well, so I'm going to bring a little bit of scrap in. And I just went over these to give them a little bit of a frosty look. You're only going to see the end bits. But you've got a little bit of sort of shimmer. It's probably not going to show up on camera, but there is some there. I can see it when it catches the light. And put it over that as well. Okay, so I'm going to shape the flowers a bit. So I've got my thick bit of sponge and I'm using my pokey tool, and I'm just going to, so I'll just do a sort of a push it down in the centre so that it pops up a bit. I can really see the glittery of it. And then I'm going to take my bone folder and just roll back the leaves a little bit. I did sort of notice that actually you don't really see the veins very much, but I thought I'd show you what it's like on, I made this sort of traditional red one, and you can really see the veins on that, and the holly, the sprig of holly. So I just think they look really cool. And then there's the little tiny poinsettias as well, and you can really see the veins on those ones, so they're going to look lovely on traditional cards. So I'll just quick flick back with each of the leaves, push it through again. It just gives your cards a nice bit of life, like so. And then I'm just going to use some Tombow to fix them all together. So I'm doing it so that they overlap with the petals going in between the spaces. And then little blob there, it's quite a big blob in fact. Can't even pick that up. That is a big blob. I'm going to take a bit of scrap and scrape some of that off. Stick these two together. They will sort of match up, but I kind of failed in that. I'm looking for my little dried out wet wipe. Get rid of some of that excess glue. I think that will work. There. Stick that over there, just to show you up close. Gorgeous, gorgeous, and I'm not even a huge fan of this colour. Right, so we're going to stick this down. Lovely deep emboss. And a lovely bit of shimmer there that I can see really well. Right, so now I'm just going to put blobs. Don't know why I'm not using the bottle that I decanted it into. Putting that one out to that edge. And now I've remembered about my other glue bottle, and it is actually sat next to it. I just put a bit of Tombow in one of these bottles. Coloured it green, so I knew it was Tombow, because I do have other glues as well. But this helps me be a bit more controlled. There's a big splodge on that one. So I'll put that one down to that corner. And then this last one. So I hope you will go on the blog hub. So if you haven't been on it, I will link to it and go and see what everybody else has made with the in colours. I was just going to do one card in the Misty Moonlight, and then I decided, I'll do it in each colour. I'll be doing a few Christmas in July projects, and it is actually the first Christmas cards that I've made this year, because in previous years, the last 2 years, I've made them all the way through the year, so that I don't have one mad rush at Christmas. And last year I just had too many. With all my videos that I do, I just ended up far too many. So I just thought, well, there's no point. And I knew that the autumn winter sort of Christmas catalogue was coming out earlier, so I thought I'm going to be I'm going to be Christmas crafting for a bit longer, so bound to have enough after doing all that. So that's why I thought, oh, push the boat out, let's make 5. And I quite like that they're different colours, so I'm going to just hold that down there for a sec. I did think about doing this on a with a dimensional, but there we go. I'm just going to put a little bit more Winkostella over that, so the centre's really nice and glitzy. And then just to finish off, I'm going to add some rhinestones. So I'm just going to put 3 rhinestones, power of 3. So I'm going to put them on a flower. Dot them around just as a little finishing touch. There we have it. So that is Magenta Madness. That is Cinnamon Cider. That is Just Jade. Then we have our Misty Moonlight, and then we have our Australian card in the Bumblebee. So hope you like those. Hope you give it a try. Try and do something different, some different colours at Christmas. I think it's quite nice to see something a little bit brighter. And yeah, hope you go and have a little check out of what everybody else has done. If you would like a new autumn winter catalogue and you haven't got a demonstrator, then you can pop over to my blog and there is a request form there for one, and I'll be happy to send you one. And if you would like to purchase any of these things now, you can, if you just want to join my team. New demonstrators can add these products to their starter kit. So you don't have to wait until it's released on August the 4th. August the 4th is when you can start purchasing from the new catalogue. So it's just a little sneaky peek there for you. Okay, see you again soon. Bye bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe.